My name is Kehinde Obafemi. I'm a qualified lawyer from Nigeria, and I have recently passed the QLTS. My legal career started in Nigeria, where I got called to the bar in October 2004. I started working in a law firm as a counsel in chambers, and thereafter I moved on to corporate services, where I worked as a legal officer for a real estate development company. I joined First City Monument Bank PLC in Nigeria as a legal officer in 2007, and I worked in several capacities within the group for 5 years before I relocated down to Britain. While here, I have carried on working as a lawyer in a legal consultancy capacity, and I've also acquired some other experiences. I decided to take the QLTS because I realized that to enable me advance my legal career in England and Wales, I needed to qualify as a solicitor. I realized that taking the QLTS assessments would give me the edge that I needed to make me more competitive in the market and more acceptable in the legal market. I decided the preparation course was necessary in taking the QLTS assessments when I went to the website and I saw the kind of requirements, for the assessments. Looking at the requirements, I thought I needed to prepare for the MCT and for the OSCE. The decision to prepare with QLTS School was based on my investigation of the kind of models that various schools were offering. I found the model that QLTS School offered to be most accessible, affordable, and it was just the right one for me. For the MCT, the question bank was excellent and absolutely essential. For the OSCE preparation, having a tutor-led support. I found having a tutor-led support by a person who had assessed QLTS exams before, or who could give me proper feedback, was quite essential. And I would say it was a wise decision because when I took my OSCE, I passed it on first attempt with the QLTS School. My experience of studying with QLTS School was excellent. I found the course, and I found the materials very relevant. I would say, first of all, using the question bank that QLTS School provided for the MCT, it was excellent. When I was preparing for the MCT, I went as far as timing myself and etc. And when I got into the exam hall, I found out that because I'd used the model the model offered by QLTS School, I found it easier to go through the questions and in good time to enable me finish answer the questions. And looking at the second part of the exams, which is the OSCE exams, the fact that we had a tutor-led preparatory system meant that I had been assessed initially on my preparation for that exam through the mock exam, through the mock assessments, and I was given room on areas to concentrate on, what to do to prepare myself better. So when I got in, particularly when you had to do the advocacy, etc., it wasn't strange to me because I already had that opportunity, even though virtual to the sky, but I already had the opportunity of making a presentation and being assessed. So my overall experience with QLTS School was excellent. The aspect of the QLTS School's preparation course I found most beneficial was the tutor-led OSCE preparation. I found it absolutely necessary and beneficial because I was not currently in practice when I took the exams, and having that kind of support from a practicing lawyer, so to speak, and somebody who at least has assessed QLTS exams in the past and had an idea what to expect. It helped me it helped me in preparing. It helped me, and when I wrote the mock exams, the feedback that I got helped me to know the areas of weakness I needed to concentrate on, to improve on before writing the exams. So I found the tutor-led aspect most essential. In allocating my time while preparing for the exams, I had a lot of factors, should I call it, to consider because I was working full time. I had family commitments, social commitments. So my style of preparation was I did try to say, oh, every day I do 2 hours, but it didn't work for me. What worked for me was to allocate my weekends. I had to dedicate my weekends to studying. In addition, I had to make some sacrifices, like I had to book holidays off work and actually study as against going anywhere, because I used the hours when I was not working during the week to catch up on the hours I could have allocated to preparation during the week, because I found it difficult to come back from work and then pick up the book and to read. So I'd say quite a number of hours. I can't quantify the hours now, was required to prepare. In terms of months of preparation, I'd say for the MCT, I believe that it can be done quite properly, quite right, in about 6 months. For the OSCE though, depending, like I said, on other factors, if you didn't have the family commitments, etc., probably also in 6 months. But if you've got a lot of factors to consider, I would advise that you take time. When I passed my MCT in February, I didn't write the OSCE until November, and that gave me about 10 months, I think, which was just about right, because immediately I passed, I purchased the LPC books, and when I looked at the materials, I found out that I needed to give myself time to prepare, because I found that there was no shortcuts about it. You had to study the materials before attempting the mock exams. Without studying it, it just didn't make any sense. So I had to study the materials and then attempt the mock. So I would give it about that time, about 10 months. When I came to take the QLTS assessments, I felt adequately prepared. I would say you never know how well prepared you are until you are actually in the examination hall and you're writing it. But having timed myself while writing the MCT, having looked at the number of times I'd passed the mock, I felt I was ready to write the exams. And when I did the OSCE, having been given the feedbacks and then a second attempt at mock with feedback, I felt I was adequately prepared. And I'm thankful because when I did write the examination, I passed the exam. So yes, I was adequately prepared. I'm not going to say I was overall excellent, but I was adequately prepared to write the assessments. The QLTS has helped me in my career because it's given me the extra edge that I needed to be able to achieve my aim of carrying on with my practice of the law while in England, because I'd had so many years of experience in Nigeria, and I found it difficult to get into the legal market properly, so-called here. So it's given me the edge that I need, and I'm hoping that it does materialize in me being able to get into full practice soon enough. I would say absolutely. I might even put in an advice and say that if it's worth investing money in, because at the end of the day, it is a substantial amount that is spent paying for the exams, traveling to London, because I'm not based in London, and I've had to travel to write exams, booking the hotel. if you are going to make that kind of investment, then it's best to invest earlier in taking a preparation course to ensure that those travels are limited and one is not repeating the payment. Because although, yes, you have like up to 3 attempts, but what about the cost of each attempt of writing the exams? In the long run, it's best to invest in preparing. So looking back now, absolutely, I'm happy with the decision that I took to prepare, to use a preparation course before going to write the exams. My advice would be, yes, if you intend to carry on with the practice of law, or however you intend to use your qualification as an English solicitor, yes, you can go ahead and pursue the QLTS assessments. Starting to study, I think starting to study would be, you have to weigh a combination of things. For example, what other things are you managing with your study? Are you in full employment, for example? Do you have a family? If you didn't have some of those, some of them, I won't know when I say distraction, but some of this that as additional to your time, probably you could prepare for 6 months. But if you've got you've got work, you've got family commitments, you've got other social commitments, I would say give it good time. And after, particularly for the OSCE assessments, because before now, I was told it was broken down into 2. You could take one part and then come back and take the other. Now you have to write the 2 assessments in one sitting. So it's best taking good time to prepare for it. And I would say minimum about 6 months will be the minimum, particularly when you're combining work and family. But it's something that you can actually take up to a year to prepare for, because it's what writing the assessments and just having a go at it once, as against being shoddily prepared and then writing the assessments and filling it. So I'd say give it a good time to prepare. I'd recommend the QLTS to legal practitioners from other jurisdictions who are seeking to practice as an English solicitor, practitioners from civil jurisdictions and common law jurisdictions, mostly practitioners from civil jurisdiction, because because we already have a relationship, so to speak, with English law. It might be slightly easier to pass. But obviously, if a person is interested in practicing or working as a solicitor in England and Wales, I would recommend taking the QLTS assessment. One of the essential skills that a person must have to develop as a modern lawyer is that the person must be thorough. And I use the word tenacious also. You must be ready to really work hard as a person. You need to be thorough and make sure that whatever is done right. Tenacity is necessary because sometimes you need to apply yourself a bit more. It's not just, you may not be able to get what you want to done right immediately. So when you're tenacious, you keep applying yourself until you get the desired result. So a modern lawyer is a person who chooses to be thorough and who needs to be tenacious.